I'm Iain Britton, an academic who studies police volunteers internationally, and I'm delighted to continue our series of interviews across the whole world of volunteers in policing with Wendy Drummond from Toronto Police Service. So Wendy, thank you so much for spending time with us on Policing TV today. Would you just first like to introduce yourself, share with us some of your history in policing and what your current role is in terms of the volunteer auxiliary in Toronto?
It's my absolute pleasure. Absolutely. My name is Wendy Drummond. I'm a sergeant here at the Toronto Police Service in Toronto, Canada. My role here is a coordinator for our auxiliary program. I'm also the crime prevention coordinator for the service. And the two roles, the auxiliary program and crime prevention, really go hand in hand. And it's a great opportunity for me as a coordinator to inject crime prevention into our auxiliary duties and portfolio.
So in terms of the volunteer auxiliary program, how many auxiliaries do you have in Toronto, and what sort of roles within policing do they perform as volunteers?
We currently have just under 300. We hire twice a year, so we hire two classes of 30, so we intake 60. We lose about 10 to 15% to the parent service. So that means they're either being hired on as full-time police constables or special constables, parking enforcement, those type of roles, which is both good and bad. We lose a bit of our complement, but it's also good in that that we're complementing our full-time strength. So we, as I mentioned, we have 600, and the type of things that they do really focusing on crime prevention, but also community engagement. So that's the really main focus. We have several large events within the city, such as our Santa Claus Parade, which is upcoming. Things like Caribbean Festival, Pride Parade, the New Year's Eve. So there's a lot, and every area within the city has community barbecues, festivals. So our auxiliaries are in and amongst the crowds, just engaging and building that trust and engagement portion of the service with in between the auxiliaries and our parent service and the community. But always injected is crime prevention, and every opportunity that we take, we always include a crime prevention measure in their details.
Yes, so crime prevention is very deliberately integrated as part of how the auxiliary works.
Yes, we've really taken on training our auxiliary members in CPTED, which is crime prevention through environmental design, and we have them sit in a 4-day course, which is the same course as our uniform members take, and we're really trying to build that cadre of auxiliary members who are trained to do those CPTEDs, and it's been working fabulously, and the auxiliaries love doing it, and the public, it's a great service to the public to be able to give them that information to ensure that their home is safe and secure, and it's been a good project that we're building on.
What sort of training, you mentioned that crime prevention by design specific training, but what sort of training in general do your volunteer auxiliaries receive?
So our hiring process, of which we're actually going through right now, it's once selected, it's a 8-week program. They train 2 evenings, so a Wednesday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday, my apology, and then a full day on Saturday for 8 weeks. That training syllabus includes criminal code, human rights, our professional standards, note-taking, self-defense, defensive driving, firearm awareness. Those are some of the very key components to the training. And then once they've graduated, we We try and do training throughout the year. We have within our transit system, we have a number of people who work within our transit system who are also auxiliary members. And so that collaboration has really helped us training our auxiliaries with the safety measures within the transit system, gets them in the transit system and ensuring, public safety and offering any other crime prevention initiatives that happen to be more topical. And so we do have a number of different topics that our auxiliaries actually bring to us as things that they would like to learn more about. So we try and do that throughout the year. We do them within the divisions. We have 16 different divisions throughout the city in which our auxiliaries are deployed, and that just allows us to have a bit more of a more manageable group to work with and train.
Who tends to be attracted to be in auxiliary? Is it mostly younger people or older people, or is it quite a wide range that you attract into this role?
It's quite a wide range. Our last class, we had a 18-year-old and we had an 88-year-old. So it really is the mix. The younger folks tend to be going through a policing foundation, so they're going through education to become police officers. Then they're looking for that hands-on experience as they're continuing their studies, and gives them that volunteer work as well that recruiters are looking for. And then we have those that may have a bit more time. Their full-time careers may be winding down, and they find that they're at that stage where they have time to give back to the communities. And so it's a really great mix of both young and old, and it fills those necessary gaps. We have members that are then able to commit to volunteering hours through the day, and then we have those that are able to do the perhaps the evenings and weekends. And it's really interesting and enlightening to see how the two generations come to connect and meld during their training. They're very supportive of each other and learn from each other in both directions.
Yes, it sounds like that blend of different people, different background, different ages really adds value to the program as a whole.
It absolutely does. The skills and life skills that come to us range, and the languages, their experiences. Many have come to us, as immigrants, and just the stories that they share with each other and the experiences. They really become a very tightly knit group once their training is finished.
Thank you, Wendy Drummond, for giving us an initial introduction to the auxiliary role in Toronto Police Service.
My pleasure.
Volunteers who serve in uniform in the community, integrate with crime prevention. Very much a fascinating picture. We'll come on in part 2 of this discussion to talk more about how the auxiliary program is organised and operates, and how it's doing in terms of its numbers and development. But thank you very much for giving us that initial introduction to what you do with police volunteers in Toronto Police Service.
Thank you for having me.